Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome to a new year. Ready to get started with some brand new cigar reviews. Today I've chosen the new Aroma de Cuba Noblesse, and this is it. 6.5 by 50. Comes in one size only. This is the 5th blend under the Aroma de Cuba brand, and it's also their first limited edition cigar. It is comprised of an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan Criollo, and Habano double binder, and the filler is Nicaraguan from Esteli, Jalapa, and Namanji. Now, as I said, it's limited edition. Only 3,024 count boxes were produced. So, that being said, it's a beautiful medium brown cigar. I will say this, these are not inexpensive. I actually purchased this on my recent trip to New York City, and I found out firsthand how expensive things are there. This cigar was just shy or at $20. Now in my local shop here, they're $16, so you can see the percentage difference that some of you guys are paying in New York. So there is the density. Now, the cigar is well made, has a nice feel in the hand, is signified by, well, the price tag and this baby blue band at the bottom. The Noblesse band is also a little different for La Aroma de Cuba. So let's get right to it. The Noblesse by La Aroma de Cuba. All right, these velvet cloth bands usually slide right off, and this will be no exception, and comes off rather easily. Very good draw. Little piece. Very good draw. Well, the flavors I'm getting are sort of a mixture of cedar and very light sweet cherry. Be that as it may, a lot of roasted nuts, dry toast, a lot of roasted nut and dry toast flavors. Quite a bit. A touch of nutmeg. The pepper appears to be a white pepper at about a 7. So let's just let it start. Let that be the starting point. We'll come back in a minute as soon as something changes, but again, sweet cedar, cherry notes, a lot of dry nuts, roasted nuts, and a lot of dry toast notes with white pepper. Be right back. Well, I'm about an inch and a half in. The cigar is burning evenly enough, and it's just medium bodied at best. It has sort of a refined, high-end, sort of a elegant feel to it. No power. It's not going to be a powerful La Aroma de Cuba, so it doesn't appear to have that. At this point, it's settled down to more of a cedar and boysenberry type combination. Again, lots of roasted nuts and lots of dry toast type flavors. The nutmeg I spoke of in the first segment is no longer there. Finish is sort of has a lot of those dry nut flavors. Dry nuts and a touch of cream. Dry nuts with a combination of sweet cream. And a touch of a little bit of white, lingering white pepper. Yep. Finish is not that easy to pin down, as you can tell. It's just not as obvious in your face as some of them are, but it's a combination of dry nuts and roasted nuts and cream. The cream has some sweetness to it. So not to belabor that point, but that's where we are, about an inch and a half. Again, medium bodied at best. about 2.5 inches in, and as you can see, I'm right at that lower band. But the flavor notes, there's a little more sweetness now. The cedar is really starting to get a little sweeter. The boysenberry notes are sort of really getting depressed. You get more sweet cedar, but immediately attached or mixed in there are those roasted nut flavors. There's just a lot of sweetness. Seems like some brown sugar starting to creep in, giving it some sweetness too with that cedar, but the roasted nuts, dry toast type flavors are just intertwined. It's a 50-50 mix of the sweet flavors to the dry toast and nut flavors, but there's a little more sweetness than there was in the last segment, so that's a plus. Still medium bodied. It may move up, but it's looking doubtful. But be that as it may, finish is about the same. About the same. Pepper situation is about the same on both ends. So at the band, which I need to remove, that's where we are. About 2 inches remaining, and finally the sweet notes are in the lead over the roasted nut dry toast flavors. Probably 60-40. The sweet flavors are cedar and brown sugar, touch of brown sugar, very sweet cedar, touch of brown sugar, and then of course your dry toast roasted nut flavors. Still what I'd call medium bodied, ever so close to moving toward medium to full, but we're not quite there yet. Everything else is about the same. So just wanted to come back to tell you that sweet flavors are just slightly in the lead at this point. Well, we're down to the end, so let's wrap it up. Not a lot of time in this 6.5 inch Toro. Just over an hour at this price point. Would like to have gotten a lot more out of it, but the flavors didn't really pop for me. Little shy of what I would like to have seen in this cigar. It is a very light, elegant feel to it, and that is, I believe, what they were going for, so they achieved their goal, but flavor-wise, it just didn't really hit on all cylinders for me. I liked the flavors, but they didn't really pop, if that makes any sense. Be that as it may, it's a good cigar. You can judge for yourself based on the flavor descriptions. If you want to try it for yourself, again, they're going to range here and locally from $16 to as much as $20 in some of these other higher tax states. So it's not an inexpensive cigar. Aroma de Cuba has a lot of different blends. This is just one of the lighter blends, apparently, and it is what it is. But for me, it comes down to a score of 89. Good cigar, just didn't have the pop I would like to have seen. Nice flavors, nothing extraordinary. So there you have it, folks. That's the first review of the year, and that's our benchmark. The Aroma de Cuba Noblesse 89.